JJ Solomon.
This Ray Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA, Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos, Uno Cuatro, Senor Dos, 14, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boy Can't Touch Me. On my worst day, right here with my dog, my partner in crime, my brother from another, Mr. JJ Solomon. What's popping, my guy?
Top of the morning to you, my brother. Top of the morning to you. We were coming in early on a Saturday morning, dog. How you doing this morning?
Man, doing great. Top of the morning. We got a special guest. Let's not waste anybody's time.
It's a big fight week. But we got some shit to cover.
Yeah.
Tell everybody who we got coming on, bro.
Hey, man, we got the special guest who I think is the manager of the year, a trainer of the year, and possibly got the fighter of the year. We call him Bill Haney.
Let's welcome him up to the stage.
Hey.
Yo.
Hey, man. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for having me. You know, JJ and Mr. I'm on that bullshit again. And it's only befitting that after a night like last night,
God.
weekend like a weekend that we just covered, that I come on here and I'm definitely on that bullshit again. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
You tell it, Coach. It was a long, busy week. I was out trying to take my wife to dinner last night. I said, no boxing for the night. Put my phone down, and then boom, 20 million. Reject 20 million. Man, I was like, baby, I have to talk about this real quick. So, yeah, dog. But before we jump into how you broke the internet yesterday, you guys are a week off of an incredible performance, dominant performance. I mean, Devin Haney moves up to 140. Tough fight, tough matchup against Regis Prograis.
Or at least we thought.
At least, hey.
Not we. I thought, because Bill Haney, before we go on, JJ, I want you to roll a clip of you predicting this fight. Just predicting.
Coach, I want you to tell me how impressed you are with this. I want you to see this.
This way before the fight.
The fight was announced. Check this out. Haney's got this fight against Regis that's being billed as a dangerous fight, a tough fight. My gut, my eyes, my heart tells me that Devin is going to run away with that fight, and Devin's going to make it look easy. I think what the narrative is going to be after that is Devin Haney is now the super A side. He went up to 140. Look what he did to a champ in Regis Prograis. Now, that's enough of that. I just want to make it be known and get my pat on the back, man.
Listen. No, a hell of a prediction. Listen, what we did on Saturday night was, extremely impressive on Devin's part. Of course, we always have a game plan going in, but Devin Haney, at 25 years old, to go and execute the game plan speaks volumes about him as just a fighter for the year. To go in and to dismantle this guy who everyone said was a boogeyman. Everyone said it would be on a tall task, to say the least. Not you, JJ, and Mr. I'm on that bullshit again.
I'm gonna be honest, because I went in. I'm like, I got to give respect where respect is due, because like you say, respect is not given, it's earned, right? And I respected Regis Prograis as the champion 140, and I said this is a 50-50 fight. Devin Haney going up there his first fight. But Devin Haney went up there and showed like this wasn't no 50-50 fight. It was absolutely 100% to zero fight.
And listen, shout out to his team, because they came to fight. He said he had a four-month training camp. He was healthy. He was 100% honest in the end that just a better man won. And I can't say enough about Regis Prograis and their team, the way that they conducted themselves in the pre-fight and now after in the post-fight. So, I mean, although, I love to have a lot of banner going on with the big dummy. But you know what I'm saying. But shout out to Evan Tobler. You know what I'm saying, who's been a class act after the fight. You know what
That
I
was
mean?
my next question to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
How's that been, man? Obviously, it looks like Devin and Regis squashed it the way the two respectful young sport athletes should do, men should do. How's the interaction been this week? What we haven't seen. I mean, everybody's
Oh no,
squashing.
it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. We've gotten a lot of good you know, congratulations from a lot of guys out of New Orleans. You know what I mean? That like I said, I don't have but nothing but good things to say about that whole region. What they sipping out there in they water in New Orleans, man, they definitely stand up individuals. You know what I mean? I can't say nothing about it. They came, they didn't sit down at the press conference. They he met Devin in the center of the ring, and and that's where it was decided at. So like I said, I can't say enough about them being class acts after the fight. You know what I mean? To give Devin his props. He didn't make up any excuses. No injuries. No, you know what I mean? You know. So like I said, man, I can't say enough about them. You know, and I wish them well. And you know, I know Regis Prograis has what it takes to get back to the top of boxing.
Now, Bill, what Devin Haney went in there and did was becoming a superstar in that fight, because from the north to the south to the east to the west, from a technical standpoint, from a power standpoint, from a ring IQ standpoint, he stood out above all fighters, in my opinion, that we've seen today. And after that fight, that took him to another level. Tell
Yes.
me the reception that you guys are getting from everyone around the world now.
Oh, absolutely. I told Dev during the fight, I said, this fight will be understood by the pugilists. This will be understood by the, you know, the legends, so to speak, to go in there and not just pitch a shutout, but a no-hitter. You know what I mean? A no-hitter in baseball I didn't expect, or I didn't go into it saying that we were going to eclipse the record set a few weeks earlier of not being hit. But one thing that I wanted to do is break down that narrative that it would be a short night for anyone with a left hand. I think that's what they kept saying. Oh, left hand, he's prone to left hands. He can't file southpaws. So we went into it and said that we're going to beat Regis Prograis in the way that his corner is going to have to look back and say, should we have stopped it? He's going to look, and his people are going to have to see him get hit and get hit and get hit, almost like torture. And I don't mean to sound that graphic, but he had
No.
called us a lot of things, and he had obscenities, and I wanted him tortured. I wanted him punished in front of death. I didn't want him to fall down and say, well, it was a lucky shot or I didn't see it. I wanted him 12 rounds of punishment.
My very next question to you was going to be just that. A lot of us, because I was on the Boxing Boys, and I went out and said I could see this fight being stopped. I made sure I said it on that show with the large platform like that. So we saw it almost seemed like you guys pulled off a little bit. And was that because of what you just said? I mean, did you guys intentionally wanted to go 12 rounds,
Yeah,
or
I want
to be safe?
yes, sir, JJ. I wanted the cleanest boxing performance ever. I wanted it to be that Regis didn't hit him with anything. And what I wanted the world to see, which I probably shouldn't have, is that uh, no southpaw, no left-handed southpaw. If we don't want you to hit us with that big left-handed brick, I call it, that big left-handed dumb shot where you know that just from uppercut from hell. You dig what I'm saying? Or that overhand drop down from the heavens, right? If Devin Haney doesn't want you to hit him with it, you're not going to hit him with it.
And you know, that's credit to Devin Haney too, right? Because in the post-fight press conference, he stated this. He said, I was beating Linares easily. Then, you know, I tried to go, you know, for the knockout, you know, get out of my way. And then I got clipped and everybody wanted to say I'm chinny, right? So it's you can't win or you can't lose. But what he did was he stayed focused at the golden hand. I seen you in that corner. You told him, chill out. Get back to the game plan.
Yeah.
Do what you do. Look, people talk about father and son relationships. I never seen one as dynamic as you and Devin Haney, right? I've never seen it. So tell me about the dynamic relationship that you and Devin Haney got.
Well, not just father and son. Me and Devin are extremely close friends. That's one of my best friends, and with that, you have a certain respect that you show your friend. You know what I mean? It's a mutual. It's a two-way street of respect. It's not just about me pushing my weight out around as a dad. It's not about him just pushing his weight around as a son. It's about having a great business relationship. That means understanding that he is the boss, and the final decision stops with him, and that relates to our business, our boxing business. But if if we wanted to talk about something that's unrelated to boxing, I might be the seniority. I might be the senior in it. You know what I mean? I might carry that voice. Because I am the patriarch of our family. But when it comes down to the business side of boxing and us being friends and his personal life that he might ask me opinions on, man, that's my best friend.
Oh, I love that, man. I love that. And you've seen the opposite ends of father-son relationships, and I have to salute you guys. Y'all are making it work, and y'all are handling your business. And I have to give you all the credit in the world. You managing Devin Haney's career beautifully, man. I want to take it back to the ring real quick though. Of all the things we are giving Devin his kudos to, the thing that stands out to me the most is his ability to continue learning. I said it from the Cambos fight to Loma, like the body work for me was the most impressive thing in that fight, and it was exponentially greater than his both fights with Cambos's. And then you see him continuing to learn and use his brain. For me, when you have Devin's skill set, because there's a lot of guys with skills, but Devin has the brain in there. He's continuing to learn. Do you see? He's 25 years old. He's accomplishing all this. Do we still have more to see from Devin?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, this is I think what's being described as his young prime. I have never heard it like that.
His young
I
prime.
always heard prime and you're out of your prime. But Devin is in his young prime. He's a constant professional approach to both business inside and outside the ring. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be associated with him. A guy that has that kind of work ethic. Um, that kind of guy that has that mental resiliency to block out the naysayers. When you talk about chasing greatness and your attempt to join the Mount Rushmore of boxing, you have to have a tunnel vision. They say everything except let's fight.
Yeah, and Bill, let's get into that because you talking about doing what you got to do to get what you got to get. Devin Haney started his career out like that from day one, from starting in Mexico, right?
Hmm.
From the hard road y'all had to build to get where y'all at now, right? Now, so this was absolutely absurd to me and a lot of the boxing community, right? With Devin Haney being the undisputed champion, right? And
Hmm.
he offered Shakur Stevenson the fair rate of 25%, and Shakur Stevenson didn't take that fight, and he tried to flip the narrative as Devin Haney being the undisputed champion. What's your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
Well, absolutely. Listen, um, whether it be fair to some or not fair to others. It's an offer that has been done before. It's not just one time, but multiple times. So we thought that might be a good benchmark when you have two extremely talented guys like that. You have egos that play a part. You have teams that play a part. But one thing that you do have is somewhat of a roadmap, a blueprint to making these kind of and not just some kind of thing that you're imagining. Um, with 5 belts being on the line, including the Ring magazine, it was an incredible opportunity for Mr. Stevenson. Of course, you see that we stayed back. Um, we're in the division when Mikey Garcia was there, Adrian Broner was there. A lot of guys have came through the lightweight division, but no one has did what it takes to put the structure in it and become undisputed. So that took a minute. That took a while to do, and we felt that it was still unfinished business. We wanted to answer to the naysayers. We wanted to give them the fight with Lomachenko. We wanted to give them the fight with Shakur Stevenson. Unfortunately, when it came time to do the business, uh, he felt that his position um, was in a place that it was a 50-50 fight. He had no belts. Devin's profile, every him in. So we didn't believe that it was ever a 50-50 when it came down to negotiations, when the benchmark had been set by Top Rank and their team in terms of paying Devin when he crossed the pond to go to Australia, with even more impressive accolades than what Mr. Stevens was bringing to the table then, or as equal. Let's not put any blame on either one of them, but it was definitely a benchmark in terms of being $2.8 million that was given to us as a flat fee. There was no percentages. There was none of that. So when I spoke to the team, I said, listen, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You guys gave us a flat fee for Cambosos 1, 2, and then we got a percentage for 3 as undisputed. And then we were expecting to have a somewhat same relationship or business structure with Top Rank going into the Shakur Stevenson fight. I spoke about it on numerous times and said, is this guys want to talk about and discuss? They didn't talk about it. They didn't discuss it. But the infamous bottle presentation by the Stevenson team, you know what I mean, was a coward move. It was a move that, was unprofessional. You said sign a contract when there wasn't a contract to sign, and nor was there a contract presented by the Stevenson team. So, it leads me to believe that it was a lot of what I called publicity stunting going on there. They like to tend different obscenities, but one thing you can't say is that I'm not the businessman behind 2 guys getting paid a lot of money. Meaning Devin and Regis, Devin and Loma, Devin and Linares, Devin and Gamboa, Devin and Jojo Diaz, Devin and both of the Cambosos fight. Clearly, the guys make the most money they ever made, and I hope that continues to happen. I hope that the next opponent that Devin fights, he makes his biggest payday. And that's what we're in the business of the fighters getting paid, and I think that reflects who we are.
I can dig that. Now, all right, so we're diving right into money and contract talks. Let's jump right at it. Last night, you went live and you let the world know that Gervonta Tank Davis, another boogeyman, turned down $20 million. That came to the surprise of a lot of people, man. So, hell,
Ain't no boogeyman turning down no $20 million. Ain't no boogeyman. Listen, when you say 20 million, the boogeyman is supposed to start smiling like he's smiling today.
Let's talk about it, man. So what went on? What obviously we saw the lives. Devin, I think Tank say? You're not talking to the right people. I'll have a little tweet. I tried to put it up, but it ain't popping up. Oh, there it is. You still listen? Bill can't even reach the guy he needs to talk to. So have you talked to the right guy? What's going on with that?
Listen, man? the guy that I talk, the guys that I speak to are the guys that have money to put up this kind of fight. I don't think you should ever question me not going to be able to get the money. I think I've shown that I can make it happen. We can cross platforms, and you keep seeing the same face at the table. You know what I mean? And these big fights, and these when we talk about the Cambosos and selling out arenas and Lomachinkos, and you know what I mean? Like, so I think that that narrative that they've been riding is about over with. You don't have to be them to be the opponent, right? To them. Do is be the most qualified of any opponents that's available, and we are available. So once again, because I'm on this bullshit again, to the Ellerbys of the world and everyone else that's trying to create these fake numbers that you can't go find. I mean, if we want to go look for the pay-per-view numbers and they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't, where is the place that we find these numbers? I mean, listen, where's the place that we find these numbers for all of the fights? We can't let the spook himself, who said, oh, it was 50,000. 50,000. No, I heard 250. He said he heard 50, right? And then, so you know what I mean? Like, like I said, man, they say everything except let's fight, because one thing about our numbers is you can't go get any of his opponents that have the numbers that we have.
Yep.
We have exceeded every number of all of his opponents. We've done everything that his opponents haven't done. So you don't have to challenge him. You just have to challenge the rest of the landscape.
As a matter of fact, Bill, you done fought opponents when Javante was champion, where he said no rush to Lomachenko. See, people ain't talking about that. This guy won this championship 11 years ago. And respectfully, I respect all fighters, but he's never had a real challenge in the sport of boxing, or even try to be the epitome of the sport of boxing, what Devin Haney is doing, and how he been calling out every fighter, and he been fighting the fights. Like, I'm starting to believe that Tank really don't want it, and Leonard Ellaby been the same way. This has been a guy who is actually bad for the sport, in my opinion. This be a guy who get on there and woof and woof and woof, but they don't say let's fight. It's ridiculous to the sport, and that's why I'm glad Devin Haney here to clean it up, because we need fighters like Devin Haney who gonna do whatever it takes to get where he need to get and believe in himself.
And I think you must speak for the people, of the people, and by the people. You cannot speak about what I and what we and like they would control boxing. No, the people control boxing. It's been a big shift in the way that we're watching, viewing boxing, and monetizing boxing. And if you're not here to give the people what they want, then I think you're on your way out. And I can say this, Tank is a dinosaur and Devin is an alligator. They both resemble something of the old school, but which one are you going to ride on? Because one of them is a stink and one of them is here alive and vicious. Yeah. You did. Yeah.
I like it, dog. I like it. Now let me throw this question out there, right? And this is from the fan of me. And Coach, I say this respectfully, right? And I want you to know I'm never going to disrespect any of these fighters. I salute the hell out of all of them. From the fan in me, a lot of us wanted to see Shakur versus your son Devin Haney, and from what we gathered, you just cleared it up that it wasn't a percentage, it was a flat fee, whatever the case. But the story presented itself that Shakur was pushing the purse bid, and I don't want to beat a dead horse with Shakur anymore. That's old news, and that's not where I'm going with this. And it looks like there wasn't an opportunity for real negotiations. So my question now is, with your you saying the Tank is rejecting a $20 million offer, is it take it or leave it, or are you guys willing to negotiate? Because that is the fight we want to see. We want to see that fight.
Hey,
so
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Y'all stop counting the money, stop packing it up. Listen, we might still have something going on. Hold on. Listen, I gotta get this money out of here though. Now, so either we gonna do something with it, or I'm gonna give it back to the place where it's got to go to. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go put it back where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Now, it's not take it or leave it, but goddamn, who leaves 20 million just sitting around? I know we're not gonna leave it just sitting around. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my thing too, Bill Haney, Devin Haney done put himself on the level now to where, we want to see the Tank Davis fight. That's the fight we want to see, but he don't need Tank Davis because there's a lot of other fights out here. Devin Haney's on that level now to where he don't need him, and that's where you see, in my opinion, the jealousy come out of Tank, because Tank don't never like nobody who's rising to the occasion. But
Tank is a man. Tank is a man that he'll make the decision whatever he wants to do. It's not about Tank. It's about wonderful fans that support boxing, that appreciate boxing, that we say, come with us. And you tell us, well, if it ain't Tank, who would you have liked to seen Tank fight? Because we'll go beat his ass up too. You see what I'm saying? So it's about them. It's about the fans, not about Tank. If Tank ain't the guy and he not going to do it, the fans going to be around forever. So who would you have liked to seen Tank fight? You know what I'm saying? What kind of challenges would you have liked to seen Tank do? Now, this is a question, right? That's why we say is that if the fights can't be made at 140, we'll test ourselves and go up to 147 and take a fight like a Mario Barrios, who was depleted when he fought Tank, right? We'll take on that tough challenge, right? Give him action. Give Mario action at being on the stage where he's 100% himself.
Now my question to you in response to that would be, if because obviously Devin got the bones and the body to move up to 147 without a problem, but would that be y'all's landing spot for a while? Would y'all try to take over the division like y'all did at 135, or do you anticipate problems making fights there too?
You know, I spoke on it. I spoke on that 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 veteran, that hell of a bad motor scooter out of Omaha, Nebraska, that's making his way up to 154 pounds and leaving a division fragmented for all the young guys to come in and make their bones. And you know what I mean? So it's an opportunity to go up and maybe even land at 147 and make a fight like with a Teofimo Lopez at 147, because he's expressed interest about going up. You have Ryan Garcia, who's expressed interest about going up as well. So right now, Devin is a 140-pound champion. We're only a week out. I made sure that I made ourselves available to all that's willing to make it happen. You know what I mean? We leave no stone unturned. We called the people that need to be called. We let them know that, you know, we're here to do business, and we're here to do business with the fighters that the people want to see. I mean, if it's a Matias, you see what I'm saying? Like, he's a tough guy. He ain't no slouch, but we will call his name. We'll tap him on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez, bad motor scooter as well. Mario Barrios, tough and rugged. Who wants those kind of problems? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what the people do. They put the bullseye on those fighters' backs, and the only thing we do is just tap them on their shoulder.
Hey, Bill, and can we clear that up about Matias? Because I seen you do an interview saying that you made a call and y'all offered Matias a lot of money, and they said they want to go.
No, we never got to the money part. Shout out to their team. Their team is doing what they're supposed to be doing to make themselves available and to want to make the biggest fights. You know what I'm saying? He knocking shit out the park. Hell of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's a future. That could be a future fight. You know what I'm saying? Period. So I've reached out to them, to the team. The team has my telephone number. They, you know that we have ability to have a working relationship, and that's what it is. Period.
Awesome,
What
man.
about the? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Corey. I'm good.
No, what about the Rolly Romero at 140? Because he's been a guy who's been talking a lot of trash about Devin for years. You know, in the news. I think that's a huge fight. I think that make a lot of sense.
I do say that my son is a quadruple threat, and when he decides to go into comedy, Rolly would be the first guy he's going to smack.
Thank you for saying that. Jesus,
he'll be the first guy when, you know, if after, you know, Devin with a career and he wants to go into comedy, you know what I mean, go ahead and smack Rolly's ass up.
Hell yeah. Hey, one thing I know, man, that you can see with Devin is that he's still trying to prove people wrong. He had that chip on his shoulder. I feel like when he pushed Lomachenko, I didn't feel that was shit talking or not. I felt that was pressure and him feeling that chip on his shoulder. He still had it with Regis. He obviously had it there going into that first Kambosos fight. Do you think Devin needs to, because he's at a point in his career now, obviously, where he can kind of control where he wants to go in his career. Do you think he needs to have that chip on his shoulder where people are still doubting him going into these fights? Does that really change who he is as a fighter?
You know what? I don't know. I know he's always had that chip on his shoulder. That's the kind of individual he is. I mean, can you imagine while we're coming home with George Kambosos, we're in the air, and he's saying he wants to go to the Lomachenko fight because he wants to fight Lomachenko. Now, fast forward to when you finish with Regis Prograis, right? On Sunday morning, you got me calling around, seeing what's popping for your next fight. And listen, and you got me calling bad motor scooter and Matias. That's knocking shit out. I only seen him fight one time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, did you see the way Keith Thurman tried to downplay y'all victory?
Yeah. Shout out to Keith. Keith is having a heck of a time right now deciding what his next move is going to be. He's only lost to Pacquiao, so anybody that's talking crazy to him, you know, he's still he's, to me, without seeing him, I know just the skill set that he has. He's still a tremendous fighter. he might be a fighter that hasn't been in the ring in quite some time, but still he's only lost to Pacquiao. So that's his opinion. If Devin and him ever got in the ring, when I told him off privately, I said my son is gonna punch your face in, Keith. You know what I mean? I said he's going to embarrass you, Keith. You know what I mean? And he told me, Keith said, he said, the only reason you're talking like that because you got a monster. So I know why you're talking like that. You got a monster. So I think it's a mutual respect. But with Keith, that's how he is. He doesn't publicly respect anything or anyone, and we don't expect Keith to treat us any other kind of way. That's why I think it would be a good fight. It'd be a tremendous build up, similar to I think the Regis Prograis, but it might be on steroids dealing with Keith. He's quite a character.
Well, man, like I want to. The Tank Davis, that shit's exhausting, dog. Like his
name is not Tank Davis, it's Reggie Davis.
Reggie Davis. Like, Reggie. Obviously it doesn't feel like that fight's gonna happen anytime soon. It just feels like it. We've seen this.
It feels like that I got the best fighter on the planet and I'm available for the biggest and the best fights. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
What does your heart truly tell you you're gonna land there? Or at least a preview of the next two fights of where you think your heart is telling you guys are going to land?
I don't know. It was just about being ready. You know what I'm saying? Being ready for that position. You know what I'm saying? Being in this young prime, we are not going to get off our square. You know what I'm saying? He's the best fighter on the planet, and I'm gonna tell you why. He has the best jab. He has the best reflexes. He has a quick twitch that you can't be taught. It's God given. He has the best feet in boxing. He has the best defense. He's an accurate puncher. He's very efficient and his workload, and he has extremely high ring IQ. You can be right there in range with him. Also, he has a great body work. You know what I mean? So, which he's shown against Loma, and you know what I mean. He has the ability to handicap a fighter of their best attribute. And make that what Floyd Mayweather said all the time is to make that right adjustment at that right time. Exactly. You know what I mean? So for those reasons, I say you can no longer down him. You have to crown him because everything that I'm saying, he's proven in front of the lights. Something that Floyd said is that, well, you can be a gym fighter, but under the lights. So Devin has done this under the lights time and time again. So that's the reason why I say that he's fighter of the year, because of what he's done with boxing. And it's not that at such a young age, as 24 years old, that you can put boxing on your back, cross the platforms, do the fights, right? And then to give us a squeaky clean boxing performance, right? To bring boxing to say, okay, this is what boxing is, right? Is that you go in there and you beat the man up, you don't get hit. And listen, and I'm saying is sometimes when you hydrate too much, you can appear slow and not fast. So forgive us and put the responsibility on me. Is it was my first time landing the plane at 140. So when we hit that motherfucker, boom, we hit it hard at 140 and he had to pull the draws off. You see what I'm saying? Because we had never been there. So when it came time to rehydrate up, we taking and eating everything but the kitchen sink because we've never been there. And we thinking that, you got to be heavy, you got to be strong, you got to be this, you got to be that, because of the hard power that guys that they wanted us to fear at 140. So it's our first time. And I think as we get on the scale more and more, we'll develop and be the constant professional that we were at 135, never missing, perfect hydration, all the other things. But it just was our first time. So, what can I say?
Okay, my last question, Bill, because I know you're a busy man. Last question. With like you stated, Devin Haney didn't take no punishment. Disrespect the Regis Prograis. This was he just got outclassed. He took no punishment. When is the earliest we should expect Devin Haney back in the ring?
I think we're talking about March or April. March, April.
Okay. Sign me up. Coach, before we roll out, man, somebody in the chat mentioned it. Salute to Coach for always being accessible. So we're gonna throw out some questions from the chat if you're cool with that, and we appreciate you again making yourself accessible to us. Brandon Fairley says, ask Bill if Gary Anton Russell is an option right now at 140 if Tank, T.O. Ryan are difficult to negotiate with.
No, I think right now.
Hold up, Coach. Oh, we lost you, Coach. Hold on, guys. Coach will be right back. Unless somebody called him. That's probably what happened. Somebody called him. We got to hit the do not disturb. But we appreciate you guys in the chat, man, blowing it up. And we'll get some of these questions launched up for Coach before we let him go. Anytime. The best. Out money. Appreciate you, dog. Shout out to Bill Haney. All right.
He left. It's cool, though. We'll appreciate Bill Haney for his time. But bring up some of them questions, eh?
Let's see. Let me pull these up. Shout out to Bill Haney. Congrats on the fight. Hold up. Let me see if we got any. Oh, he's getting back on.
Okay.
All
right, Coach. We missed the Gary Antoine Russell.
Okay. So yeah, shout out to Gary Antoine Russell, hell of a fighter, man. A class act as well. Comes from a boxing family of royalty. The Russell families are a boxing royalty. And I always said that, listen, if it's an opportunity for them two guys to get in there and us to give the Russells an action, that's some money and a payday and something, we won't hesitate for it. Right now, I think that Gary Antoine, he has a few things to do to accomplish, to raise his profile, to get in front of Devin's opportunity to be a unified champion, a 3-division champion, or fighting the biggest and the best fight in boxing with the Tank Davis team.
Do you feel the same way about Hitchens? Because him and Devin Haney been going back and forth.
Oh yeah. Hitchens. Listen, Hitchens. Hey, one thing about Africa is Africa gonna sell it. Listen, one thing about Africa, he know and I know is that he been talking that same way. He was losing like a motherfucker, and he was still talking the same way. Amateurs, ain't nothing changed. They'll beat the hell out of him in sparring. He's still talking. You see what I'm saying? But shout out to Africa, who's continuing to get better and better. You know what I'm saying? Just like Devin, these kids are getting better and better. And I don't like that they describe Africa's style as boring. I think that Africa, if you violate, Africa would demonstrate. He's not no chump. He's not no punk. He's not no sissy. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another fight. And we go back and forth to a side that he's on, which is the DAZN and Matchroom side. And Matchroom don't have no problem putting up the money. And if that's their guy, if that's the guy, this shit, Eddie gonna present it. And then when that time comes, I think that Africa is in a little bit of a better position than Gary Antoine Russell right now. Because and that's only because of Africa, who's doing a tremendous job with himself in terms of keeping his name in the talks.
Salute to that, man. Salute to that. Now, another quick question. Ask Bill, will they ever have a woman on DHP with the rise of female boxing?
Oh, absolutely. We got our eyes set on one right now. I don't want to say who it is, but she's big. And listen, and I know that I can do a world to help her career. So we have our eyes on some people, but it's with us and DHP and me per se is, can I come in and help? If I can come in and help, and we can come in and help you, then by all means that we want to do it. And sometimes it's not always about the money. It's sometimes about having a working relationship that it might work in our benefit later on. It might be a pot of gold. So you know what I mean?
And you got one of them ones under Devin Haney and Amari Jones who put on an excellent performance. Yeah. When do you see this guy fighting for a title?
Hey, listen, the Reaper is coming, man. Shout out to Amari Jones, hell of a team. PZ and you know what I mean? Like, I love his brother. His brother, when you see him, he's a light-skinned dude, he version of me, but he's young. And I always say, you know what I'm saying? I see a lot of him and me. So shout out to them. They're a team, man. They're a close-knit team and from up our way. And when he's ready, he's going to take the world by storm. Trust and believe.
Appreciate that. Well, Coach,
and let me also mention Shamar Canal. out of that New York.
Yep, up
Yes, sir.
northeast, man.
Harlem. Yeah, he's representing Harlem and all them guys out of Harlem, my dear friends and brothers.
Hey,
Robert Brewster, who brought Shamar Canal to me, and the first day I seen him, I said, "Man, the man's a freak." And in the way of, listen, this guy is 6 foot with big old hands and knuckles, and he fights at 130 pounds, 130 to 135 pounds at 6 foot tall, long and wiry, and we expect big things out of him as well. So,
and you also working with a guy who Lomachenko beat. I can't think of his name. And then Devin fought Lomachenko. Who was the guy
oh,
who he?
shout out to Jermaine,
Yeah,
Jermaine
Jermaine
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz.
Jermaine
Yeah.
Ortiz, who will be in a heck of a fight in February against no other than Teofimo Lopez.
Yep.
Oh,
That's gonna be nice.
Oh, yes. Oh,
That's
that'll
gonna
be a nice fight. And you know, I'm looking forward to the fight. I know that Jermaine Ortiz is my brother. He's a Muslim. He's my Muslim brother. So I'll do everything in my power to be there for him. And it's not about the money. It's about the love of it, the love for Islam and the love for my brother and him having opportunity at Teofimo Lopez, even at our detriment that he might upset the apple cart and cause us to have a bad, not have a payday if he can ruin it. But I must be there for my brother as a Muslim, and I can't say enough about what a class act Jermaine Ortiz is. Outside and behind the cameras. I never knew the brother was so deep, and he really is, and he'll get to the world, and may Allah be with him.
ready.
Huh?
Tio better come ready. Don't be
May Allah be with may Allah be with the young brother, and may he come up victorious. Teofimo has his work cut out for him because this guy Jermaine Ortiz is mentally in a place that I didn't even know that he was. Now I don't know if he was there for Lomachenko, but he's coming. I didn't know him when the Lomachenko, but I know him now, and I know he's coming, and he's all business, Mister. I'm on that bullshit again. One thing about Ortiz, yeah, you can expect for that to be a fight. Now with Lopez's and Gordo himself, if he comes in and he's Teofimo, it might be a short night. If he comes in as Gordo, like his last fight with Josh Taylor, we're expecting. Listen, it's going to be a good fight. Jermaine got to be ready.
100%, man. And we've seen Tio needs to be ready for that. Hey, I got one quick question. So we're talking about the youngsters coming up. We got to shine some light on our Texas boys. Floyd Kid Austin Schofield. He's making a splash. We saw Jake Paul even mention him yesterday for one of his fighters. What are your thoughts? I know you've worked with him in the past. What are your thoughts about the young man coming up, man? 21-year-old undefeated knockout specialist.
Oh, listen, shout out to the Schofield and the Schofield team to keep on grinding. I know his dad, he has took my playbook and he put it up under his pillow and he sleeps with it every night. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate compliment as being a father, that another father will say, hey, you know what, B, I like that you did that, and I want to do that with my son. So shout out to the Schofield team. And I always told them, listen, they say, if it ever comes a time, you know what I mean, Dad's going to put it on Schofield's ass.
Well, we love to see that. I would love, they have a lot to say about it too, man. So we got a lot of love for them. And like you said, that father-son element between them, man, it's a beautiful thing to watch. The same thing to you. But dog, hey, Corey, you do. If we're good, we appreciate you, Coach.
Nah, we appreciate you, Bill, man. Look forward to having you on again in the future. Thank you for your time.
Okay,
hey, give us something to leave with.
JJ, huh?
Give us some. Yeah, I was gonna say, give us some juice to clip out to leave with before you roll out.
Okay, no, I just want to let them know. I want to personally speak to Mr. I'm on that bullshit again, and don't fault me, and don't fault me. But today I'm on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so don't give me no copyright infringement. Don't give me that, you know what I mean? But I'm on that bullshit again. I'm on that bullshit again today. You know what I'm saying? And listen, and if you guys hear from anyone from the Tank Davis team, you know what I'm saying? Be sure to call me back.
We sure will, Coach.
Be sure to call me back.
You enjoy your weekend, dog. Thank you for everything. Thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you, Coach.
JJ, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.
You take it easy, man.
Peace.
Oh, man, that was fun, dog. Hey, let me let the chat know. I was having problems pulling up comments, man. So I appreciate my apologies on that. The comments weren't popping up, so I couldn't get to everybody's questions on there. But yeah, loaded questions, loaded answers. What are your thoughts on Mr. Haney, dog?
I love it, bro. he everything that boxing need, bro, and not just everything. He walking like he talking. He ain't like Tank Davis, Slim, and his corner man, and the Ron Garcias, and the Teofimo Lopez's, Devin and the Shakur Stevensons. Devin Haney has always wanted the smoke, JJ, and can't nobody on this planet say that Devin Haney ain't always wanted the smoke or did what he had to do to put himself in position to be who he is now.
Yeah, you can't deny that, dog. You can't deny it one bit. And, you know, people, especially boxing fans, tend to think where if you support one guy, then you hate the other. You know, if you love Shakur, then you can't respect Devin and all that. Dog, all these guys are extreme talent with bright futures. And listen, say what you want about Devin. I obviously said that was going to be a wash, but to predict it and then to actually execute it at that level is two totally different things. And you can say what you want about Devin and the offers and all that. They are taking care of business. They're doing it with formidable competition in front of them, and you can't deny it, dog. You can't deny it. So salute to the Haneys, bro. They're doing big things, man. And I have a feeling 2024 is going to roll out pretty for them as well, dog. Hey, Al Money, appreciate you. Said we the truth, dog. He said
so that's Al Money. That's my boy Al Money, Mr. 231. What's popping, my guy?
General Big Fish still stuck on the
The General Big Fish in the building.
But all right, IOTBA, I'm gonna. I got a lot to do today. We got big fights to cover tonight. We got a big card on the zone, and then Showtime's final card.
And
we can
UFC
spin all
tonight too.
Oh, we got some UFC. Oh yeah, you got those guys too.
Ooh, man.
But let's go ahead and call it. Y'all have a hell of a weekend, Corey. Good show, dog. And we will talk to you when we talk to you guys. Y'all have a good one.
This is JJ Solomon.
This is Corey Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.